Yankee shit. And we are live, finally. It is the MLB Strategy Show, Thursday, October 13th. I am Josh Engelman. I am joined by Adam Scherer. We are brought to you by PrizePicks. And much like yesterday, 2-game slate ahead of us. Not as completely flat as yesterday looked. We might have a little bit more nuance than we had yesterday. But even still, it's a 2-game baseball slate. But we're here to talk about it anyway. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Adam, how did your Wednesday go in DFS?
Not great. First real hockey slate of the season, got my ass kicked. I would like to point out, while I completely understand why chat is blaming me for the show starting late, it was not my fault, but completely reasonable assumption.
Yep. Also wasn't my fault, and it is basically never my fault, just to put that out there.
Yeah, no, it was our currently pantsless producer.
Yeah. I don't blame Jordan for coming in here without the pants. I'd be cranking to me and Adam as well. But, you know, we're going to talk baseball instead. We got Astros, Mariners. We've got Yankees, Guardians. Do we have weather issues by any chance for the Yankees?
I think. I actually meant to look that up and then got distracted and forgot.
Were you distracted by the fact that Jordan had no pants on?
Yes. And yes, we do have weather issues for the Yankees.
Okay. Oh, yeah, this is looking... Okay, so this version of weather is way worse than yesterday's version of weather because Yankees Guardians goes off second. So I assume this slate is just ripe to be incredibly screwy.
Yep.
But let's talk through it. Let's just say it's 5 minutes before lock right now, and the weather report that we have, we're just going to assume is what's going forward. How would you be approaching rostering the Yankees, rostering the Guardians, knowing that things look pretty rough from a rain perspective?
With the current forecast, I just wouldn't play that game. I would just be jamming in everything from the first game, hoping the second game postpones, and X% of the field is just dead.
So straight away, X out.
Why are you underwater now? You were on like the worst mic ever.
Oh, shit. AirPods cut out. There we go. I'm back. What was that last thing?
Still underwater.
Me? Oh, God damn it. Oh, yeah. Switch my AirPods. There we go. Should be good now?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. That would be a very... what percentage of people do you think would be playing the Yankees and Guardians?
What'd you say?
What percentage of people then, like, I assume we're discounting our ownership to Yankees and Guardians at that point then, you know, if we're saying that we're close to it.
Yeah, like I think it would come in, if the weather holds how it is, I think the ownership comes in lower than projected because, like, obviously it's difficult to account for that in ownership, but it's still going to be some not minimal percentage. People are just going to play that game.
Yeah.
So I think right now, I would just take those people, hope that those people end up paying the rake, and this game just gets postponed before it starts.
I'm going to say something really dumb, but it's because I don't play these slates, so I deserve that. Do you have to have a representative from a second game? I legitimately don't remember because, like, you don't think about it on a 10 game, or you're never going to have.
Yeah, I actually don't know.
I haven't, like, I legitimately don't know. I mean, chat's going to know before us.
Yeah, I'll say it seems like maybe. I think so. So you would have to play like one guy from that game?
Sean V says, yes, you do.
Yeah, I'll say I'm pretty sure you do because, like, back before Showdown, like, that was one of the, like, legal logistics was, like,
yeah,
you need 2 games, so you're not just betting on one game. So, yeah, I would just, I guess, be playing one guy from this game. And
which is obviously a $2,000.
Yeah, the cheapest person available.
Yeah. Would you have any thought process of, like, going to a starter and a reliever instead of both starters?
I think you could, yeah. Like, again, assuming this game's not going to play.
That's what I mean. Like, would you go to Framber Valdez and an Astros reliever?
Like probably not.
Or Mariners reliever, I guess.
Yeah, you could. I think it's a good idea. Like, it's an interesting idea.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think through because this is about to become like a very like weird slate if this breaks in a like if they don't cancel this game by 3:37, like you need to be prepared for that. So I'm just trying to think, are there any other intricacies that we could break down other than like just breaking down the slate?
Let me pull up bullpen usage.
Because it feels like to me you would go, Valdez and a Mariners long man, or Castillo and an Astros long man, more so than double starter. Like obviously double starter still works.
Yeah. Like double starter clearly is like the preferred way you would go.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for the Mariners, I think it's likely that you see I mean, relatively likely like Matt Brash, Diego Castillo. Munoz is going to pitch at some point, probably, whether they're winning or losing. Like he's either going to come in for the save or they're going to bring him in as to put out a fire. Unless it's just a blowout, then he probably doesn't come in. For Houston, last game they used Abreu, Brown, Javier, and Montero.
Okay. Interesting. Going to be a weird slate. Again, guys, you got to pay attention to weather. Keep your eyes peeled for all of this news. The Astros Mariners game is supposed to go off around 3:37. So be aware of what the weather report is looking like and be ready to essentially punt Yankees Guardians. If you're doing that, make sure that the representative that you choose from Yankees Guardians is a minimum salary player.
Yeah.
And probably, would you care about position there? Are you more likely to punt short?
I mean, I think you're more likely to, but I wouldn't be requiring it. I would just, whatever that lineup needs.
I feel like I would not want it to be first or outfield.
Well, I mean,
but I don't know. I mean, I guess I feel like I definitely wouldn't want it to be outfield, but I don't know.
Well, it just depends. Like there's limited hitters that you can play. Like you're just, if it happens to be a lineup where you're including one of the shortstops, then like if you're including Jeremy Pena and you can still use an outfielder. If you're making like one lineup, yeah, I would punt a weaker position.
Oh no, actually, you're punting catcher. You're getting rid of Maldonado or Torrens or Kurt Casale or something like that. That's not even it didn't even cross my mind about catcher. It's catcher.
Yeah, ideally it's catcher. But also you don't want to just play 0%. Like if you're playing 150 lineups, you don't want to play 0% of the catchers.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, if you're playing one lineup, you're just punting catcher. Yeah. If you're playing cash, for example, you're just punting catcher.
Yeah.
Looking at, I was just pulling up some of the reliever pricing. So like Hunter Brown is $6,800. I don't think I would go there. But no. Munoz is $4,500. Brash is $4,700. Wow. Diego Castillo is $4,100.
I thought that all these guys were just going to be the bottom here. So that really makes it quite different.
Well, I mean, the pitcher floor is 4K, so those guys are.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't expect anybody coming in at 6,800. That's for sure.
Surprised me. Brian Abreu is 4,800. Javier is 8,400, so can't really go there.
Yeah. All righty. Well, let's get into this one. Let's break down the one that we know is going to play. Astros and Mariners. 3.8 run implied total for the Stros, 3 for the Mariners. Framber Valdez going for Houston. Luis Castillo on the opposite side for Seattle. We're seeing similar ownership to yesterday. It's pretty flat, just slightly more extreme, but for all intents and purposes, we're just locked in here at the 50-50 spot. I'm a little bit more extreme today than I thought I would be in comparison to yesterday. I'm getting to all the Valdez at 7,900. I'm not getting to all that much of Luis Castillo at 7,200 on the opposite side. Do you see anything really separating Valdez and Castillo here?
I mean, the way ownership looks right now, I think I would go that route as well. You're getting a little bit more ownership coming into Valdez, but we also have him at 52% chance to be a top 2 pitcher compared to 45% to Castillo. They're similarly priced. So right now, I would lean toward Valdez. If that ownership shifted a bit, I would be fine going to Castillo. Like he's obviously really, really good. It's just, a really tough matchup for him. Not that it's an easy matchup for Valdez, but and again, this is assuming that second game plays, which I don't think it is.
I have a little bit of a gap between Bieber, Valdez, and Cortez and Castillo, like bigger than what we're showing on the site. I got Bieber and Valdez just shy of 21. I've got Cortez and Castillo right at 16.5. So I am seeing a bigger divide than I saw yesterday, which is leading me to get to more Valdez and less Castillo. But at the same time, when I run my top two sim stuff, these guys all look pretty similar.
Yeah, we have Valdez projected like 2 points ahead of Castillo.
Ooh. Gundacker's in chat right now. Said, if you open a contest and click rules and scoring, this is the 2 paragraphs for suspended and shortened games. If canceled or games rescheduled for a later date result in a game set including only one active game, then all contests for that game set will be canceled and refunded. So yeah, I think this slate goes away if Yankees Guardians gets postponed before lock.
Right, yeah, but so that's what I'm not sure of is what happens if it gets postponed at like 5 p.m.
I can't see a scenario where that should be refunded, but I don't know. Like, to me, that's your problem and not DraftKings problem.
I mean, that's how I think about it as well. But
I don't know if that's true.
Right. The other angle is just like it makes for a really bad user experience, but then also like it's a bad user experience to spend your day making lineups and then just be like, oh, just kidding, no slate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if the bad user experience is happening on a 2-game baseball slate on a Thursday, they're going to care a lot. This isn't like NFL Sunday or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they'll give a shit. I assume they would just cover losses and like try to buy some goodwill, but well, I mean, I don't have a good feeling. You would think that they would make this abundantly clear to people.
Right. And it
but then again, I guess how many people actually care? Like, how many people actually care to think about this? Because it's just our industry and a subset of that, even.
Yeah.
Like Joe, whoever the hell, isn't looking up the terms and conditions of like second game rainouts.
Right. And to be fair, like this could actually be abundantly clear and well known, and I'm just not aware of it.
It's just one of those things I would never pay attention to. The inner lawyer. Yeah, what about the inner lawyer in you? You can't read through those T's and C's and figure it all out?
There's a reason I'm doing this, man.
All right, let's talk bats here. Unless you have anything else you want to add on Valdez and Castillo.
No, I mean, not really. Like Castillo's really good. Valdez also really good. Yeah, I like and again, the way ownership looks right now, I would give the edge to Valdez.
As would I. Let's talk bats then. Astros, number 1 in top stack, second in value. They are the most owned team, but again, a lot of this is happening. Astros are 1 in top stack. Mariners are 2. These are 1, 2 in ownership. Because I'm getting to more Valdez and less Castillo, it should become no surprise that I'm getting to a lot more of the Astros than I am the Mariners. I do think it's interesting. The Astros have the highest implied total on the slate by quite a bit in relationship to everybody else, at least. The Astros are the team that I want. And I guess I want like twice as much the Astros because I would be dropping the Yankees and Guardians. But let's talk about Houston for right now. Is that your preferred team in this spot?
Yeah. And looking at the top stacks tool, like we have them getting the most ownership, but we have their top stack percentage in line with the ownership. Whereas you look at Seattle on the other side, getting the second most ownership and the second best top stack percentage, but actually going a little bit over owned. They are a little bit cheaper, so a higher top value percentage. But the way things look right now, I would just want to be getting to a lot of Houston. I thought about that before. So Marcus Demparo said that if the Yankees play tomorrow, that it would just be included. I thought about that too. Like that's possible. It seems like DK probably would prefer that not be the case because then you're just tying up money. But
they did that for the NFL and COVID, right?
I think so. Like he said it's happened before. I remember it happening. I don't know if it was baseball or not, but I definitely just remember it being like, oh, well, this slate just turned into like a multi-day thing.
I feel like they did that with COVID where like the Monday night game moved to Tuesday or something. And like it continued that slate an extra day. Yeah, it's something in that neighborhood. I smoked away all those memories.
Yeah, everything just runs together, and I tried and black it out. But yeah, I think they can. So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully either we get some sort of clarification, or the clarification's already out there and somebody finds it.
Apparently, they could extend it if they make that decision before noon on that game day, per Gundacker Esquire here in chat. Man, this is weird. I would hate it if they kicked this slate to a second day. Like, that's the worst outcome, in my opinion, for anybody trying to play this baseball slate. I would
I mean,
not
it's the
want
worst
that.
outcome for DraftKings too, because you just have people locking money into MLB DFS on a Thursday when they're showdown.
Yeah, I can't imagine that's what anybody really wants. Conductor, let's be honest, we're all going to waste our day today. It's just different flavors of waste.
Yeah, it might not be with DFS, but
Yeah. I don't get the sense that you or I or Adam were going to be incredibly productive. Otherwise, I got a sneaky suspicion. I don't know. You might be watching wrestling. I will probably catch up on AEW from last night. No, that one's going to Gundacker.
I've never done that in my life.
Well, we got plenty of video games to play. I'm pretty sure of all of this.
It's raining on the East Coast. There's no need to be productive.
Yeah, I'm not going outside. I wasn't going to go outside if it was 70 and sunny.
No, but if it's raining, then it's a good excuse to just like nap all day. If it's 70 and sunny, it's a good excuse to go outside and like, I don't know, drink or something.
Drink.
Yeah.
The old Thursday at noon cocktails because the 2-game DFS slate got canceled.
Yeah. I don't know. I still use the same rules as when I was in college. Like, I wouldn't go to class if it was raining because I didn't want to go out in the rain. I wouldn't go to class if it was sunny because it was too nice of a day to be stuck in class. Wouldn't go if I won playing poker the night before because I wanted to celebrate. Wouldn't go if I lost playing poker the night before because I was in a shitty mood.
You know where else it's really similar? We were like 2 minutes away from the professor not showing up for class and you and I getting the fuck out of here today, right? Too.
I was thinking about that when I was like, all right, we used to give the professor like 10 minutes and then we would go home. And I was thinking about that when Jordan was just walking pantsless around his apartment, not doing his job or whatever.
He had 10 to he had like 2 more minutes. If we got to 10:15, there would have been 2 DMs coming into our Slack being like, oh, Adam and I got back in the car. We had to get back. We commute. Right. Cash lineup looking, if we're treating this as a 2-game slate, I think we have to approach it as a 2-gamer. Otherwise, we're just telling you like, yo, play all of the Astros and Mariners. So
yeah, I mean, we already talked about what I guess we would do if we already talked about what we would do if the game gets or is going to get rained out and not count tomorrow. If it counts tomorrow, then obviously just treat it like a 2-gamer. And for the sake now going forward, I think we have to treat it as a 2-gamer because otherwise this is all a huge waste of time.
So getting a bunch of Astros from a cash perspective, obviously I'm getting Valdez, but Tucker, Alvarez, Altuve as well. I'm getting a ton of Cleveland. I'm curious if you've run that crunch yet, if you're seeing the same thing, but definitely a lean towards more Astros bats over Mariners bats from a cash perspective.
I'm running it right now, but that seems correct.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. Same situation, Astros in Cleveland?
Yeah, but it was... No, okay. Oh, wait, Okay, so it ran really fast, so I thought like I'd ran this on, but I don't. Yeah, tons and tons and tons of Astros.
Okay, perfect.
Like 90-something% Tucker, 90% Alvarez, 70% Pena, 60% Gurriel, 45% Altuve, 15% Maldonado.
There we go.
96% Valdez.
What do you see on the Mariners side? Is there anything there that stands out? I have them as my least favorite stack of the 4. Not that it's the playoffs, so I don't want that to be damning or anything. But I am getting to a lot less Seattle. A lot of that just has to do with the fact that I think Valdez is the best option today.
Yeah, I agree with that. And also, Seattle is the only team right now currently projected to go over-owned. And again, it's a 2-game slate. It's not by a massive amount or anything. It's not anything I would really worry about because we also have it as, the top value. But when you're talking about splitting hairs between 4 teams, it is, I think, noteworthy. We do have them going slightly over-owned, whereas we have Houston being correctly owned. We have Cleveland being under-owned, and we have the Yankees being correctly owned. So I think that pushes them down a little bit as well. And, I mean, Valdez is just really good. Like, most good pitchers still will give up some power. Like Valdez just doesn't give anything up. 111 expected ISO to righties this year, 0.61 expected ISO to lefties. You're going to get a predominantly right-handed Mariners lineup, but it's just so tough, I think, to want to target Valdez.
Yeah, I don't have much coming in here other than Julio Rodriguez. Don't really get broken up about that considering he's really good. So happy to get, if I'm getting one-offs from the Mariner side and I have Valdez and everything, Julio Rodriguez is one of the guys that I'm picking first.
Yeah, an obvious reminder, it's a 2-game slate. You can take hairs against your pitcher.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of have to, or you're going to be limited pretty quickly. But yeah, Rodriguez should be the first guy up on that list. Haniger, Suarez, probably 2-3 in that sort of scenario if you're looking for it.
On a completely unrelated note, why is DraftKings already only making it 20K to first in hockey when I guess there's football tonight?
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, well, I forgot about that. I was like, because it was only 25K yesterday.
Oh.
It was 50K on the 2-gamer on Tuesday, and then only 25K yesterday.
Yuck. Anything else here? Astros and Mariners?
Nope.
Didn't think so. All righty. Schedule for the rest of the day. There's a lot of content today. So NFL Strategy Show Matchups Edition coming up after this. We've got the MMA Strategy Show at 1 p.m. This Saturday's MMA card is aggressive ass, but be ready for next Saturday. Big pay-per-view. Should be really fun. NHL Strategy Show at 2 p.m. We've got the No House Advantage NFL Show at 3 p.m. And then we've got 2 straight hours of NFL coverage for Thursday Night Football. We got the Deeper Dive coming up at 6:30. We got the NFL Live Before Lock show at like somewhere around 7:30. We've got a bit of a stinker tonight. Commanders and Bears. I ran my contenders videos for that one. A lot of heavy ranks for the defenses. It's so gross. The best part of Thursday Night Football will absolutely be following along on Twitter if it's as crappy as it seems like it's going to be, because that's a bad game. That's a real bad game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Commanders fan and I'm still dreading this.
Yeah, it's not good. It's rare that I get defenses to rank so high, but when the line is 38 and there's not a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball, it felt pretty real.
Yeah, I mean, there's talent on the Washington side. There's just stupid coaches that can't use it.
And, Wentz isn't exactly elite, but that's besides the point. I hate the NFL. God, no, it's so awful. Okay. Anything else I want to touch on? Free content.
To answer Mike in chat, does this mean we are wasting our time? Probably, but still not completely clear.
Yeah.
And do I think we fire Ron? Yes. I don't know what's taking so long, but
News God?
Yeah, him too. No, Ron Rivera. Yeah, I think we do. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's taking so long. I hope they hurry up. I hope they take Del Rio with him.
Bring back Steve Spurrier.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of the thing. Like, who the hell wants to coach this team?
Joe Gibbs.
Right.
I'm out of funny answers. I can't imagine it. Did you see the quotes about that are coming out about them today? And about Snyder?
Who? No.
Snyder was basically just like, all of the owners hate each other. And then an anonymous owner was just like, no, we all just hate Snyder.
That's amazing.
But apparently go to ESPN right now. It's the lead story on ESPN. At least it was 10 seconds ago when I was actually there. Snyder claims he has dirt on NFL owners and Goodell.
Oh, so I just, Barstool just tweeted, Dan Snyder hired private investigators to dig up dirt on Goodell and NFL owners that could blow up the NFL if they try to remove him.
I mean, it's one of those things where everybody assumes that all of this bullshit exists. It's like the Draymond Green punch video. Nobody really cares until the video gets leaked.
Right. Yeah,
because we know these are all shit people doing grimy stuff.
I am under no impressions that most NFL owners are good people or anything like that. But also it would be more damning if Dan Snyder just drops a list of things that they have done or are doing.
It's just a really weird thing because clearly Dan Snyder is an asshole and has ultimate grimy stuff on him.
Well,
he's going down with the ship if that
you're talking about just a whole class of assholes, but then they think Dan Snyder is an asshole.
Yeah.
That is how bad Dan
this
Snyder
dude's
is.
So crazy that he's willing to torpedo his own asset. Like the Commanders are a multi-billion-dollar franchise.
Whoa, but
and if he's willing to just like bring it all down with him with a private investigator,
because I mean, if they want to remove him, so he's losing it anyway.
Yeah, but he doesn't lose his value of that asset.
Right. Yeah, he still gets he gets the check on the way out the door.
He's more mad that they would try to get rid of him, where he would, let's just say he sells the team for $3 billion. That's probably low, but let's just say it's $3 billion. Or he like burns it all down on the way out. Right. And he's just like, who needs $3 billion?
Yeah, like his ego is just worth more than $3 billion.
Yeah. Like it's certainly more than 3, but whether I say 3, 4, or 5, it doesn't really change the argument here. Of course there's dirt out there. Of course there's dirt. Yankees and Guardians. If this game happens, it's a 3.3 run implied total for the Yanks and a 2.9 run implied total for the Guardians. Nestor Cortez and Shane Bieber. Again, this is sort of a coin flippy matchup, but I think Cortez is the worst option of the 4 pitchers for today. Would you share that assessment, or do you just think they're all pretty equal relative to salary?
I think they're pretty equal. We have Cortez projected a little less than a point ahead of Castillo.
Okay.
I do think Cleveland's probably the weakest offense. Like clearly the Yankees and Houston are 1-2. Cleveland doesn't strike out a lot, but like I think they're also probably a little less scary than Seattle. They do have the lowest implied run total.
Park helps Cleveland today.
What'd you say?
Park helps Cleveland a little bit here, more so than Houston, but not by much.
Yeah. You do also get the lefty-lefty matchup from like Kwan is really good, but he's lefty-lefty. Josh Naylor is going to be a lefty-lefty matchup. Jimenez is left-handed. Ramirez will hit right-handed, but I think he's better left-handed. I'm not positive. So that is sort of, I think, working in Cortez's favor too, that most of the good bats in Cleveland's lineup are left-handed, or the best bats, I should say. They have other good bats,
but okay, let's do you see anything in the ownership here? 50% to Cortez, 43 to Bieber. I'm getting a ton of Bieber and basically no Cortez, but I don't really have anything to like bring to the table with that either.
Me neither. Gundacker said, for what it's worth, DK assist DM me, and just copied the rules that the slate would be canceled.
Where you're like, oh no, I already did that once.
Right.
Okay. Well, then let's break it down from an offense perspective. This is number 3 and number 4 offensively in top stack, but separated by 1% on both sides. Guardians, though, quite a bit less owned than that Astros and Mariners side, which is causing me to just go to Cleveland.
I just think it's really difficult to actually like them because against left-handed bats this year, small sample for Cortez, but 37% strikeout percentage, 106 expected ISO, 226 expected WOBA. And, again, if you're going to Cleveland, you're typically going to want Steven Kwan. You're going to want Josh Naylor. You're going to want Jimenez, and they're all left-handed. So, you have Oscar Gonzalez from the right side. You'll have Ramirez hitting right-handed. Ahmed Rosario is right-handed. But it just becomes really difficult, I think, to want to get there. And then they are still getting some ownership. We do have them going a little bit under-owned, but, they're similarly owned to the Yankees.
Yeah. Yeah, I assume the reason that I'm doing it is, 31% going to the Astros, 26% going to the Mariners. For 19% ownership to go to Cleveland on this 2-gamer, like that's just creating a situation where the gap's too big. And it's sort of what we saw yesterday, but I get to put it into practice where everything was flat. Everybody was like an average of 22% owned. But now that we're not seeing that, I feel like I'm just more willing to try to get that bonus in ownership.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. And I mean, while it's a tough spot for Cleveland, it's a tough spot for every offense today. So
yeah, they're in basically everything that I'm putting together right now. But at the same time, it also might not happen. I feel like we're getting a new person into chat like every minute and a half, and everybody has got the same question about Yankees Guardians.
Yeah.
I did get a bunch of Cleveland from a cash perspective. I'm not entirely sure why, but Jose Ramirez,
that's a really
clearly able to be there with very little issue. Ahmed Rosario, Oscar Gonzalez, but really, if you're playing a cash game today, just skip it.
I mean, yeah. Ramirez, I think, is the cash third baseman. He showed up like 65% of the time using the Stokastic projections. Rosario showed up like 28%, but I think you're getting to Jeremy Pena at shortstop. Oscar Gonzalez showed up like 28%, but you're probably trying to get Judge, Alvarez, and Tucker in the outfield.
Yeah. I wish that I could come up with something more interesting to talk about here, but this is one of the weirder slates we're going to get to.
I wish we
because
just
of
got
this
the news
weather.
right now that this game wasn't going to play.
Well, so we could just turn the stream off.
Yeah.
I kind of agree. We do need to touch on PrizePicks quickly before we get out of here. They are the presenting sponsor of the show. If you click the link in the description and head on over to PrizePicks, you would be able to get up to $100 on that first deposit. They got a ton of stuff up here right now. We got boxing, we got disc golf, we got tennis, we got some NBA starting to peek its way in here. But I'm going to go to what we know, pitcher fantasy scores. We got everybody's up here right now. So I'm going to give you all four guys. Are you ready?
Yeah. I'm trying to read about Daniel Snyder, but yeah.
Okay. I told you were going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Luis Castillo, over under 30.5.
Over.
I got a 30.2, so that's a wash for me.
We have it at 32.3.
Valdez, 35.5.
Under 32.5.
I got 37.8, so I'm going over on Valdez. Rare that we get this sort of these differences. Nestor Cortez, 26.5.
Wait, didn't you just say Nestor Cortez?
Nope. Framber Valdez.
What was the number on Valdez?
35.5.
Over 36.3.
Jesus Christ. 2-game slate, and you still can't get it right. Nestor Cortez, 26.5.
Over 32.5.
I got 30.5. And then finally, Shane Bieber, 27.5. This one's the easiest one for me. I got about like 9.
Yeah, 36.6.
Yeah. So if you're playing PrizePicks today and you think the Yankees-Guardians game can happen, load up on Shane Bieber as far as I'm concerned. He is looking good.
I take no responsibility for that mistake. It's not my fault that Valdez and Cortez end in the same sound. And when I'm half listening, I just catch that.
Oh, Adam. Talk about Avatar, Josh. Loved that show. Avatar the movie?
I was going to say, I saw the
It was
movie
good.
10 years ago. I don't remember it other than
About 2 weeks ago.
blue people. You saw it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, they re-released it because the new one's going to be coming out soon.
Oh, okay.
So I went to IMAX 3D and checked it out. It was good. Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
No. I don't know the last time I went to a movie. I think the last movie I saw was American Sniper in like 2013.
That's an interesting pick. I wouldn't have landed on American Sniper. I think we always like semi-regularly. We went and smoked a joint and watched the new Jackass a couple months ago when that came out. That was fun. That's the kind of movie I want to go see.
Don't go.
It's so much better now. So like all the new theaters have like, you know, recliners and shit. You can take alcohol. So yeah, I thought about getting just like a movie pass. It's like $30-$40 or something stupid to go whenever you want.
Even when I worked, like I used to work at a movie theater, so like I could go see movies for free and just never did.
Ah, weird. I love it just because.
Which I guess probably shouldn't surprise anybody given how few movies I've seen.
That's fair. Is there anything else that we could add to this slate?
No.
Guys, pay attention to the weather. There's a very realistic chance that you're playing Astros managers. Astros Mariners showdown and nothing else. So be aware of that. We're going to get out of here. NFL Strategy Show Matchups Edition coming up in 12 minutes. Thanks to Jordan for finally waking up to come do a 30-minute show. This was definitely worthwhile for him. Thanks to PrizePicks for being here. We love you guys. Good luck tonight. Peace.
Thanks to Jordan for putting pants on.